केवल ज्ञान ही एक ऐसा अक्षय तत्व है, केवल ज्ञान ही एक ऐसा अक्षय तत्व है जो कहीं भी, किसी भी अवस्था और किसी भी काल में भी मनुष्य का साथ नहीं छोड़ता। तो चलिए ज्ञान बटोरने के लिए तैयार हो जाते हैं और हमारे अगले वक्ता हैं श्री प्रभात कुमार जी। We are fortunate to get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of great and highly knowledgeable distinguished guest, former Cabinet Secretary and the Governor of Jharkhand, and now the President of the Initiatives of Change Center of Governance, IAS, Shri Prabhat Kumar ji, on the topic context of ethics in public services. Let us put our hands together for Prabhat Kumar ji.
दोस्तों, ये एक बड़ा अनूठा सफर है। It's a unique journey that you are starting today. We started it on the 27th of July, last month. But for you, starting today. What is so strange about this journey? What is so particular about this journey? I think that this is a unique journey because in other journeys, you meet other people. In this journey, you meet yourself. Don't forget that it is you are talking to yourself. So with that background, I will just say that I will not speak to you. There is no speech. I am not addressing you. I am talking to you. And this is a two-way process. I talk to you, you talk to me. I learn something from you. If you can learn something from me, very good. So let us share. In the morning, I asked you 6 questions. Have you noted them down? Can we attempt answering them one by one? Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? So the first question was, what in your opinion, in public perception, the image of Indian Railways as an ethical organization? What do people think? It's great. That is in your opinion. What is in the opinion of the man on the street?
Other countries are better. India Railways are better. Why? Because how they give water, how they give toilets clean, how they run the trains in time, and how they give accident free. How?
Okay, very good. Very good. Any other response? Any other response? Yes, please. Yes, ma'am.
As a service provider, they all respect Indian Railways. But on the scale of basic ethical level, on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe they put us at 5 or sadly a little below.
I'm not talking about the efficiency of Indian Railways. Of course, it's very efficient.
Yeah.
It's the most efficient organization in the country.
When it comes to ethical, I think they'll put us a little below average. Sad to say, but
This is better. Okay. Yes. So you place on an ethical scale of 1 to 10 Indian Railways at 4. Right?
unfortunately, people consider us at 5 or a little less.
Okay. Very good. Any other response?
Sir, I think the people are not actually satisfied with this.
Good. Please, come on.
It's an individual experience, sir. I have always found that each one experiences and that experience speaks.
Yes.
So sometimes get to hear some people saying that they have done a best job, and some people will be expressing that they have had a very sad experience.
Okay.
So it depends on whom they come across.
What is the popular perception?
In some.
It's a mixed one, sir. Yes, sir. It's a mixed opinion.
Sir,
Next opinion.
people are expecting more expectation of ethics from railwayman.
More.
More.
Very good.
When compared to other transport, public feel comfort in only Indian Railways.
Okay. So compared to other means of transport,
This is the best comfortable journey
More
for the
comfort-
public.
most comfortable.
Medium,
Most
medium,
comfortable.
cheaper mode. Medium class people are liking to travel in railways compared to other transport.
So you think that providing a very comfortable journey is equivalent to being ethical?
Ethical organization only, sir.
It's only ethical.
Yes, sir.
Sir, when something goes well, they price less. When something goes wrong, the admiration will be at higher scale.
Oh. Yes.
When something goes well to the public, they speak less about us.
Wonderful.
And when something goes wrong, the response is louder.
So, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
People, yes please. People think that the railway providing is a great service. Yes, general people think that railway give the great service for the public, and they are really happy for this.
Very good.
And they think that there is no such organization which can give this such type of transportation so far.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So most of us think that Indian Railways is an ethical organization.
No, yes.
There are some people who say that it's mixed. Now I say, I don't know what is the popular perception. I'm also part of the government, and therefore I also think that Indian Railways is great. The only thing is that if Indian Railways was so perfect and so ethical, what was the need of this Satyanishtha program? Why did your chairman think that let us do a Satyanishtha, that we should be more niched about Satya? There must be something in his mind, that we must improve. Even if many of us are very ethical, but to make Indian Railways as the best ethical transport system, we must do something. And that is why we run with that. Okay, this is a general perception. I'm coming to personal. What was the second question?
Pride of doing job.
Do you feel proud of belonging to Indian Railway, and do you take pride in whatever you are doing?
Yes.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Sometimes. Yes. Let's be honest. You see, in this program, we from the IC Center for Governance will be absolutely honest with you. Absolutely honest. Because all my friends here, and there are many more, who have left everything and have devoted their work, devoted the rest of their life to ethics. We don't do anything else. After retiring as Cabinet Secretary of the country, I thought that I will only devote myself to ethics. So we'll be absolutely honest with you, and I request you to please be honest with us. Whatever you think, let's not keep anything in reserve. So I ask you whether you take pride in whatever you are. I know that we take pride in belonging to Indian Railways. Good. But you take pride in your job. Yes? Yes. How many yes? Okay, raise your hands. Okay. And how many are little doubtful? I don't say no, but doubtful. That whether I'm really proud of my job. Very good. I'm so happy. Oh, there is one. We'll talk about that. Not just now. So most of us are proud of our job, and most of us are proud of belonging to Indian Railways. Great. This is not an official program. This is a Satyanishtha program. Okay, what was the third question? Now, each one of us have our talents, our capabilities. Which the minister said, क्षमता. जो आपकी क्षमता है, उस क्षमता के अनुसार आपने अपना कार्य किया है अथवा नहीं. Whatever your capability, or you have underperformed. That you could have done much better. But you said, no, this is my duty and I will not do anything more than that. Though I am capable of doing more. How many of us feel that we could have done more? Raise your hands. Very good. Yes, yes. I think there should be a universal yes to this. Because we don't perform according to the standard that we can perform. That is what the vision of Indian Railways is. There is a lot of potential and we must develop our work according to our potential. Must perform better, lot better. So now you have to think individually as to how can you improve the content of your job, how can you raise the bar of your performance according to your capability, your personal capability. What was the next question now? Yes, are you time conscious? Again, I think the minister had done a lot of homework when he came there and spoke. Because all these questions are so relevant. They are full of meaning. So, are you time conscious? It's not only being punctual. If you have 8 hours work, 9 hours work, are you utilizing those 9 hours? Or we are wasting some of that time.
We don't consider that we are wasting time, sir. Maybe also the railway's perspective on punctuality or specific responsibilities so high. We considering that we are putting in our best with regard to being time wise and
good. Thank you. Any other response?
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
it is not conscious mind. In our subconscious mind, we think about many things.
Wasting time.
Yes, not wasting, sir. Not wasting, sir. In our subconscious mind, we think about we belong to this organization and we'll put up the best.
We'll come to that later. Right now we are talking about time. How are we utilizing all our time? Because when I was in government, I felt that I'm only 5 hours work. I don't have enough work to fill my time. What did I do with the rest of my time? Either I had coffee or I was chatting on my phone. This is what I'm talking about. That are we utilizing the time that is given to us? Okay. Then this is the next question. Yes. This is, I think, very important. That if we see something wrong being done, if we find that, well, just to give an example, there's a police officer called D. Rupa. Have you heard of her? D. Rupa of Karnataka Cadre. She was a DIG. And she was asked to find out about the condition of a jail in Bangalore. And in her report, what did she say? That Mrs. Sasikala has been given undue facilities in the jail. And she has paid 2 crores of rupees to her boss, the DG. Can you believe it? She was a whistleblower, and she said that my boss, the DG, has taken 2 crores of bribe from Sasikala. Now, this is just an example, maybe an extreme example, but there may be other cases where we find that something wrong is being done, somebody is stealing something. Do we just say, all right, this is not my business, and that is why let it be, or do something about it? Think. I'm not saying that you answer this question, but at least for future, let us think whether we should really do something about it. Okay? Is there any other question here? Wonderful, wonderful. So now,
sir, one more question. Have you done anything beyond your have you done anything beyond your duty?
you have a job. Everyone has a job. But forget about the job. If you have done anything which you are not expected to do, anything beyond your call of duty, beyond. Yes, please.
Sir, I have tried to do one thing, sir. That is, railway is having an agreement with corporate hospital for treatment. But for outpatient, if I want to go directly, because city has spread and railway hospital is very far off. So I have tried to do it. I have met CMD also, and she said this proposal is very good, we will do it. But she has not done it. At that time they asked me that GM is also interested in this kind of project. They asked me to go and meet him, but I could not gather the guts to meet him. So if that proposal is implemented, hundreds and thousands of railway employees will be benefited.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You see, there are several examples, there are hundreds of examples where people have gone out and done something.
But this proposal was not able to be implemented, sir.
No.
This proposal could not be able to be implemented. If it is implemented, then people will be benefited.
So you created this proposal, you conceived of it.
Yes, but I didn't
Succeed.
gather the guts to meet the James.
Now I think you should, after this program. You see, what I'm saying is, yes please. Wonderful, I want to hear these stories.
Way back in 2005, we had a very one washout, and one passenger train was and near about 100 people died. I attended the restoration. On the third day, one body was coming out from that Urban Delta passenger, and then I thought, we can't allow the people die like that. At that time, I was DTC track machine that posted in Vijayawada for restoration of another bridge, washout bridge. So there, sir, we have developed GSM-based an application where the water level rises the danger level. It will put on the signal as well as messaging system. It will do that. Way back in 2005, I'm talking. After that, we had so many such kind of accidents here. Unfortunately, I was transferred to another post, and then that project went up to RDSO, and it was simply put off. I mean, it could not taken off. Reason is because we are providing a signal, a warning signal, which is our inject department says the SNT job. SNT says it is not our job, and in that red, whatever we say, sir, in the inter-department is gone. And that is the thing, sir, which is we work very hard to develop that app, and with the private firm, give a lot of time. That was presented before our other member doing also. I was with you at that time. It could not be taken up, but now in a different form, the same thing is being done. So it is being done now.
Okay. What a pity that it was not taken up. Any other story? Any other story? Something not connected with your job even. You have done something in your colony. If you have done something in your village.
Sir, one day when I was there, I had been to our chief engineer's chamber. There I have seen one person drinking poison in front of our chief engineer, and I have immediately taken him to the railway hospital, and I could save his life.
Very good. Now, among the civil servants, I don't have stories from the railways, unfortunately, but we are trying to get as many stories of good things being done by railways, and we'll compile them. But we have stories from other government departments, other civil servants, public servants. There is a IAS officer called Prashant Nayak. You see, I take great delight in remembering their names and celebrating them. These are things we should be celebrated. Prashant Nayak was collector of Kozhikode in Kerala. And one day he thought that nobody in his district should go to bed on an empty stomach. Nobody should go hungry. Nobody in the whole district. A very difficult thing. But then he devised a method. He devised a project called Operation Suleiman. It's still there. You go to the net and you see this. Operation Suleiman. And there, anybody, if he needs meal and he doesn't have the money to buy it, he could go to a restaurant and ask. Even today, this program is there. One man, we started this, nothing to do with his job. Nothing to do with his job. This is much beyond what his normal duties are. There are other cases. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, I read in the newspapers that in the Kerala floods, there are two IAS officers, young IAS officers, who are carrying rice bags on their shoulders, wading through water and taking them to the relief camps. They have not been asked to do that. It's not their job. Why are they doing it? It's a call from inside. But they are civil servants. They have their own job. So what I say is that if you are doing something which is beyond your duty, it may be a very small thing, like saving the life of a person, or it could be a big thing like Operation Suleiman. But this is faith in truth. Yes, sir.
Actually, about our experience, I was the divisional level manager of Kota, which is Rajasthan, is very dry. So on one of my inspections, I went to a station, so I asked the station master, how is he? His answer was very sad. He said, it's a hell of a job I am doing, I am not happy. I do 12-hour duty, this is what I was station masters. And when I go home, there is my life is very terrible. I said, why? There is a lot of power cut and then there is no water supply. So what is the problem with water supply? He says, I have to go to a hand pump the water, bring to my home. Vikramgad is quite a good station, city-wise and all. But it was fascinating to see that no water will be supplied to his home. So I said, okay, let's go to the colony. We went to the colony, we found that there were pipelines laid long back, but they had been disused. So then we thought about how to get the water. See what happens, then we went to the other gangland waters and all. Now they have got something called ball, which is sort of structure is made to store water. Now that thing gives, they were taking the water for their bath, for cooking, for everything. And literally the health also was getting affected. So they called me seriously and asked him how many such places in Kota don't have pipe water supply. We identified about 45 stations. Now, then we went to another station. I said, let us see how it is. Same problem. Water is being supplied by the contractor. He is supposed to give 25,000 liters. But my estimate was from 10 to 15,000 it would be supplied because there is no storage capacity. So then I said, how do we go about it? So the first response came is, let's build a concrete, what do you call that, overhead tank. And how much would it cost? 1 crore. That much money we don't have. It so happened that I was standing on a piece of rail at that station. I said, why can't you use this rail and build the structures? Use this, all that you need is to build it and based on what you call foundation. Use 2 syntax tanks of 10,000. Put it on top of that. You have a lot of what you call swaying material. Use those. Otherwise, use the station building for that. So the aliens and the DNs, everybody was told that your CR this year is outstanding on rate. But if you didn't cover the stations and supply, you will go down to 1 line crore. Sir, I was able to do 37 stations. 37 8 still remain. But this is not the end of the story. All the officers who are AN and DN are now the senior DN coordinators after 8-9 years. So when I called them up, he said, sir, whenever you go to a station, if the water supply is not there, we are doing it and ensuring that everybody gets a supply. I think that makes me feel very happy. What we did.
This is a story which we use, not here, but everywhere. Such stories, I have requested the general manager to give us these stories from South Central. Please, I want more stories.
So I have no point to say, sir, if you permit.
Yes.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Here only.
Oh, you are. Oh, you are. And you are. So
That's so funny, sir.
yes, please.
Yeah, I have quite a few, instances and experience to share. I'll just share an experience. I was working as a senior DCM in Vijayawada division in the year 1997. So there was an accident to Narsapur Express somewhere near Satyanishtha police station in between Guntur and Nadikudi, these are the stations. It happened early in the morning. Those days the Guntur division was with Vijayawada division. So I was in this, then we all went early morning itself, we went to the site. So by about 6:30 we reached the place actually, that accident site. The location of the accident is such that on both sides you have paddy fields, full of water and all. It was a paddy season actually. So there were 11 deaths in the accident. The bodies, the dead bodies were strewn all over in the paddy fields actually. So it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock. It is the job of the GRP, the government railway police, to clear those bodies to the nearest place where we can take by track, by train to the hospital actually. But for some reason, they didn't come to the place. And by then, all the people started gathering around, people, and then the public press were coming actually. So we thought it is not a good site for railways to keep dead bodies clear on the paddy fields. So then we mobilized our own license porters and our own staff. And myself, we have carried the dead bodies to the nearest inspection carrier, the coach, what we call as MR we call it. We carried the MR and then we have moved them to the hospital actually. So IAS officer carried rice bags, I carried dead bodies. Thank you.
So I find that there are a number of stories. Yes, ma'am. You want to say something?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Surekha from CEO Construction Office.
Sir, I would like to share a personal incident which has happened to my friend's sister. Like she's got 2 sisters and 2 brothers. And she's the last of all of them. All of them, you know, like one sister she stays in New Zealand, one in Delhi, and 2 brothers are staying in Hyderabad. But none of them took care of her. So once when the sister came from New Zealand and she was sharing about her problem, see, I have to go back, but my sister, she's alone, she's not well, she's got arthritis problem, so you know we have to help her. Can you help me to put her in a place where you know she can stay there and I would pay for it? Then I said, right now I don't have any solution, but as you are leaving, I will keep her in my home till such time she finds a place, sir. I kept her for 3 months in my home, sir. Later on, I have seen a place, you know, where they take care of the people who are not having their own here, and I feel proud to do that because it is actually it was very difficult for me. Somebody staying in my house, but somehow I managed, and she was also very good to me. So finally, I have put her in a place where she is very comfortable today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See, my time is running out, and I have a lot to share with you. This is just the beginning. So, if I continue with hearing these stories, I think all my time will be taken. But so I'll stop here. Okay. But I request you, all of you, to please record your stories so that they can be documented. They will be documented, rest assured, and we'll take them all over the country. I'll request the general manager to kindly compile them and send them to us. Okay? So let's move on. Let's move on. I get, you see, Satyanishtha, somebody said, I believe you said, or you said, Satyanishtha is contagious. Like corruption, you said that. Like corruption, it also spreads. And therefore, what I see here is a lot of potential, lot of latent material. And I'm so happy. I'm quite sure that this mission Satyanishtha is going to succeed here and is going to succeed in all other areas. Thank you. Let me move on. Let me move on. There is another aspect which I wanted to bring to your notice, and that is we move from frame to frame. Every day, throughout our life, we move from one frame to the other. There's a frame called the family, the home. We act in a certain way when we are at home. The other frame is the workplace, the office. And there we behave in a different manner. We go to a club. Yesterday, last evening we were in a club, and we behaved in an absolutely different way. We go to the sports field. We act in a different way. We go to the market. There we behave in a different way. Why? Because every frame has its own protocol. Every frame has its rules and regulations. You can't behave in the office as you do at home. You can't go to the office when you are sleeping down. You can't. At home, you are the father, you are the mother. In the office, you are a subordinate officer or a senior officer. But you are different. And we are very wise, we are very clever, that we don't carry the behavior of one frame to the other. Isn't it? We don't mix the frames. We are very wise. We know this is how to behave here. We go to Singapore, we behave in a totally different manner. So, because what happens if we mix the frames? You go to a restaurant with your spouse and you have a meal, you're very happy, both of you, and when you come out, then you hug your manager and say thank you and come out. Disaster. Whereas if you go to a friend's house, same way with your spouse, and have a meal there, and while coming out, give a 1,000 rupee note to your friend and say keep the change. It's a disaster because you are mixing the frames. You are taking the behavior of one, the protocol of one frame to the other. And we are very. What I say is, the lesson from this is that the context is decisive. It decides so many things. It changes us. The context change and we change. The context change and we change. We do everything according to the context. Zero slide laga dijiye. Yeah, that's right. Now this is a simple passage. This is a simple passage of English. Just read it. If somebody can read it, please read it aloud. Take a mic.
A newspaper is better than a magazine. Seashore is a better place than a street. At first, it is better to run than to walk. You may have to try several times. It takes some skill, but it is easy to learn. Even young children can enjoy it. Once successful, complications are minimal. Birds seldom get too close. Rain, however, soaks in very fast.
Okay, please stop, please stop. Now, what is this? What are we talking about here?
Sometimes bad, but also came. It's very clean.
If they know that it's a thing, but if they don't remember, just think, because I find that all these sentences are disjointed sentences. But every sentence makes some sense. They're grammatically correct. But if you see the whole passage, then you don't know what we're talking about. And then you put the other one, which you have seen, of course. Yeah, that we are talking about the kite. And now you read the whole passage and you find that every sentence makes sense. This is the power of context. That if you know the context, things become meaningful. If you do not have the context, you can't make. Now, I extend this argument and just say that ethics also depends on the context. Ethics also changes from context to context. Ethics appears with the context. You are driving on a narrow hill road, and there is a car in front of you, and that car is being driven very, very slowly, and you are compelled to follow it because there is no way to overtake it. You're just following it slowly, and you have to reach somewhere. After some time, it carries on. After 15 minutes, half an hour, carries on. Then you start getting fidgety. You start getting restless. What is this? Why isn't he not going way to go? Nothing happens. Your rage increases. And then you feel like hitting the person. Stop him and hit him. But then you realize, you see the number plate, and you find it is your old grandfather's car. The old man, poor man, 80 plus, he is driving it. What happens? Where does your anger go? You're certainly very patient. The frame changes. The context changes. Suddenly, the driver there is not a stranger. He is your grandfather. You change. With the context, you change. Are you following me? Is it not a fact? That if the context changes, you change. This is a great lesson that each one of us must learn. That if you change the frame, the whole thing changes. What can we learn from this? जब मैंने साफ बताइए, इससे हम क्या सीख सकते हैं? Yes, of course we know that if the context changes, we change. I say the other way around. If we change the context, if we purposely, intentionally change the context, what happens? Yes, sir.
Some problem you are telling me, I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to appreciate your काम. आपका जूता आपको पिंच कर रहा है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा. But if I come, take your shoes and change the reference of context in my mind, then probably I can appreciate my
Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Very good. Many things are in our mind, but very good. What can we do in railways? Can we change the frame? Can we change the frame? Think about it. It's something which is beyond. Nobody does it. Nobody thinks about it. I have thought about it. I have learned it from so many examples. Examples all over the world. International. One of the examples I'll give you. Very simple. There is a company called Zappos. Zappos. It was established by two young men, young Chinese Americans, way back in 1999. They decided to open an online shoe selling company. Online shoe selling company. There are many others. Amazon is also there. So they started selling shoes online. But what they said, and it is in their banner, in their headlines, on their website, everywhere, in all their publicity material, they say, we don't sell shoes. We want our customers to love us. We want that our customers should love us. And they have a training school for all their employees, which they call the School of Wow, W-O-W. Because they give wow service to their customers. They say that their objective is that, and this is one of the things that they train their employees to, that if your customer wants anything in the world, do it. Whatever your customer wants, just think. A small company saying that whatever your customer wants, please do it. This is the company policy. With 1999, a small online shoe selling company. In 5 years' time, they blew up the competition. It became the largest shoe selling company in the world. Can you believe it? Just is changing their frame from making profit selling shoes. They say, our job is to make our customers love us. And they did everything for it. They made it a reality. 5 years, they became the largest shoe selling company in the world. In 2009, 10 years only. In 2009, they sold the company to Amazon.com. They sold the company to Amazon.com for $1.3 billion. A small company became so big in 10 years. They sold it, but they insisted that we will only sell the company if Amazon.com follows the same policy. And even today, it's a part of Amazon.com, but Amazon.com has the same listing. They had a 365 days return policy, that you could return it after a year. There was a lady who said that I couldn't return the pair of shoes because there was a bereavement in my family. They said, thank you, we'll return your money and send flowers. The policy was that if you order at midnight, the shoe will be delivered before breakfast. They did everything what the customer wanted. I ask you a question. Can we change the frame of South Central? Can we change the frame? Simple. Yes, you can.
Actually, what happens
one of the problems what we face throughout is that we are basically an operations-driven organization. That is that our entire focus is on how to run trains, how to manage maintain the assets, this thing. We think that whatever we are offering to the customer has to take it. We don't work in the reverse order. This is what customer wants, accordingly I do that. So the focus is so much on internal things than on the customer's needs. This is one reason actually why our the market share has come down from around 90% in 1947 to around 30%. As you said, actually it's the right time for railways to change the frame and start looking at the customer rather than looking only inside.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just think about it. What is Indian Railways? The lifeline to the nation. You carry millions and millions of passengers every day from one place of the country to the other. You carry millions of tons of cargo every day. Are you appreciated for that? No. Every Indian should be grateful to Indian Railways. How you project yourself, the same thing will continue. Only thing you say that we want our passenger to smile. Simple. What you say. Focus the other way around. What the passenger wants, we will deliver. You can do it. I'm quite sure you're so efficient. You're so productive. Think about it. Think about it. If I have time, I can continue. Otherwise. See, I wanted to talk to you on many other things. Yes, sir. Because if I start... No, I really wanted to talk a lot because there's so much. I can't get an audience like this. It's a captive audience. So anyway, I stop here, but we are here. And if you want to discuss anything, please. But I'll request you to kindly consider those 6 questions. I have not invented anything from my side, it is what your minister said. Those 6 questions, kindly think about it. And as I say, that I don't want to judge you. Who am I to judge you? So far as ethics is concerned, you are your best judge. There is nobody else who can judge. Ethics is not actionable. Nobody asks you to go out of your way. Nobody asks the municipal engineer in Belgaum. There was a drought. Somebody was mentioning about the quota thing. Yes. There was a drought. The drinking water is not available in that city. What he did was very simple. What he said was that let us find out the old wells, all the old wells, 100-year-old, 200-year-old wells who have gone dry because they are not used. He said clean them, dig them, find water. And would you believe, in a month's time, the water table rose in the city of Nilayam. That's very small. He was not asked to do it. Just came out of it. There's a clerk in Kerala, his name is Muhammad Salim, in district Malappuram. Now, what he has got is got a plate on his table, And he says, I am paid 811 rupees per day by the government to do my job. Don't pay me any bribe, just ask me what I can do. Every time he gets an increment, he raises that amount. There were 4 recruits, police recruits in Muradabad, in the police training school there. And they were going for a walk in the evening and they found that there was a rickshaw who was crying, sitting on the side and crying because his rickshaw had broken down. They just collected money among themselves. To make a collection, they have to buy a new rickshaw. Nothing. Very simple thing. You might have done. But these are things which define your ethics. Ethics is simply not taking bribe. No. That's the least of it. That's law. You are committing offense. You don't need ethics for that. Misconduct, no. If you do something which you are not supposed to do, you will be charged under your conduct rules. You don't need ethics for that. Ethics start where rules and law end. Ethics is defined in IC Center for Governance as doing more than what the rules and law expect you to do, and doing less than what the rules and law permit you. Think about it. It's a very good definition. More than what the law requires and less than what the law permits. So our ethics should start where our duties end. Thank you very much.